A rusted iron sphere sat in a cafe garden for decades, Knorred, weathered, and almost invisible. People walked past it every day without a second thought. It looked like nothing more than a forgotten piece of scrap. But inside, it was hiding something straight out of the Cold War. Encrypted codebooks, surveillance devices, long-range microphones, and secrets that had been buried for over 50 years. Sam Hardwick had owned the cafe since 2012. It was a small, quiet place in Richmond, a town in upstate New York where nothing unusual ever seemed to happen. The kind of place where regulars ordered the same breakfast every morning, and everyone knew each other's names. The previous owner, an elderly woman named Dolores Finch, had run the cafe for nearly 3 decades. When her health declined, she sold everything to Sam Furniture, kitchen equipment. Even the small fenced garden out back, where she used to grow herbs. And in that garden was the sphere. It sat near the back fence, half buried in the soil. About 2 feet wide, covered in rust and dirt. Sam had asked about it once. Dolores just waved it off. "It's been there forever," she said. So Sam ignored it. Years passed. The sphere became part of the landscape. Sam mowed around it, planted vegetables nearby, and sometimes even sat on it during breaks. It was just there, like a rock. You stop noticing after seeing it. Every day until the spring of 2024, Sam decided to renovate the patio, expand outdoor seating, lay down new stone, build a pergola. When the contractor came to inspect the space, he pointed straight at the sphere. "That thing has to go." Sam shrugged. Should be easy. It wasn't. He wrapped a heavy chain around the sphere, hooked it to his truck, and hit the gas. The chain snapped tight. The truck lurched forward. The tires spun in the dirt, but the sphere didn't move, not even an inch. That's when they realized something was off. It wasn't just heavy, it was too heavy. After hours of digging, Sam discovered nearly a third of it was buried underground. The soil around it had hardened over decades, gripping it like concrete. He soaked the ground overnight, loosened it bit by bit, tried again the next day. This time, it shifted. Just a few inches. But it was enough. After 2 full days of effort, they finally freed it. The hole left behind was deep almost to feet. Whatever this thing was, it had been there a long time. Getting it into the garage took hours. That's when Sam did something he should have done years ago. He cleaned it with a power washer. Layers of rust and dirt peeled away. Slowly, something began to appear beneath the surface. Markings faint at first. Then, clearer numbers. Letters, a pattern. Military serial numbers. Sam ran his fingers across them, feeling the grooves in the metal. That's when he noticed something else: a seam. A perfect, welded seam running around the sphere like an equator. This wasn't a solid object. It was sealed on purpose. His contractor went quiet when he saw it. He mentioned something about military storage containers his uncle had worked with, decommissioned equipment, sealed units that looked just like this, that should have been a warning, but for Sam, it was an invitation. That night, he brought out an angle grinder. His wife, Carol, stood at the doorway telling him to stop. That this was a bad idea, he agreed. But he didn't stop. Sparks flew across the garage floor as he cut along the seam. The metal was thick, nearly half an inch. It took almost 2 hours to break through. Finally, with a low, metallic groan, the sphere opened. A rush of stale air escaped, dry, metallic. Untouched for decades, Sam grabbed a flashlight and looked inside and froze. The interior was lined with a dull gray material, lead, carefully packed inside. Cushioned and aged foam were objects he didn't recognize. Small metal boxes with dials and switches, cylindrical. Items wrapped in wax paper, coiled wires connected to tiny microphones. Leather pouch filled with booklets. Everything arranged with precision, everything preserved. Sam didn't touch anything. He stepped back, told his wife to stay away, and made a call. Not the police, the FBI. They arrived in less than 4 hours. 2 black SUVs. For agents, no small talk, they went straight to the garage. For the next 3 hours, they worked in silence, photographing, cataloging, carefully removing each item. Sam and Carol watched from the kitchen window. No one explained anything. Not that night. The agents left. Just before dawn, the Sphere stayed behind. But 2 days later, another team came and took it. Then silence. 3 weeks passed before Sam got answers. A senior agent drove in from Washington and sat across from him in his own cafe. What she told him changed everything. The Sphere was a dead drop, a hidden cache used by a Soviet-linked spy ring during the Cold War. Instead of meeting face-to-face, agents would hide materials in secret locations like this, waiting for someone else to retrieve them later. The Sphere was one of those locations. Inside, the FBI found a complete espionage kit, directional microphones, capable of picking up conversations through walls, encryption, codebooks used for classified communication, microdot readers, miniature cameras, and handwritten notes. Still being decoded, the cafe itself? It had once been a safe house, used by foreign operatives in the 1970s. The Sphere had been buried as long-term storage. Its lead lining designed to block detection. It was meant to be retrieved, but it never was. No. One knows why. Maybe the agents were arrested. Maybe they were extracted. Maybe they never made it out alive for over 50 years. The Sphere sat there, passed from owner to owner, ignored, forgotten, invisible. Because of Sam's discovery, the FBI was able to close a case that had been open since 1974. Pieces finally fit together. Names matched, secrets uncovered. Today, the cafe looks the same. The patio is finished. Customers sit outside, drinking coffee, laughing. Right where the Sphere once lay buried, they have no idea what was hidden beneath their feet. The only trace left is a patch of soil, slightly darker than the rest, and a story most people don't believe. So tell me, if you found it, would you have opened it? Or left it buried forever?